all good, Jean. Okay?
All
right. I'm supposed to sit up here, I guess.
I got cameras everywhere.
You do?
Yeah, everywhere. I got a whole system of cameras all over the island.
Oh.
Different buildings, different people. Some people have them in their glasses. I'm just kidding.
I know you can have cameras all over because a friend in Australia used to watch Nantucket online, and he used to ask me to go in front of the camera so he could see me.
He did. Oh my gosh.
From Australia. Yeah, there you go.
You might have to put that seatbelt on.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay. How long have you been doing that bench with the whales, helping the whales out?
The program?
Yeah.
40 years.
40 years you've been
1977.
No, here on Nantucket
yes.
or where?
Yeah.
Since 1977 you've been doing the same.
Not there.
I mean, ever since I've known you, since I've been here in the 80s, I've seen you doing it.
Okay, we did not go on the street until 2003.
Oh, I saw you around though.
Yeah, I used to carry a sign prior to the programs.
That's what it was?
Yes.
You used to walk around with like a sandwich shop.
Hey, how you doing? Do you know where Island Drug is? Island Drug Store?
Well, yeah, it's up here on the drug store.
Nantucket.
Oh, you got to go out of town. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Island Drug?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
He owns both of them. Okay. Got a lot of day trippers around, aren't we? Don't we? Huh?
Yes, yeah. And they're from everywhere.
Okay, let's go.
Today I had Guatemala sign, I had Canada.
Why do you do it, Jean? Why?
I've often thought, because I know what's happening to whales in the ocean and dolphins and everything, and if I stopped doing that, yeah, I would have more time to myself, but I can't live with the results of what's going on.
How did you get attracted to this issue?
I met a dolphin. I didn't know anything about marine mammals. And aren't these cobblestones going to make us sound all jiggling all over the place?
A little bit. That's part of the charm.
Okay. Yeah, I met a dolphin in St. Thomas at a laboratory there. I didn't know anything about marine mammals.
Okay.
I was snorkeling and looking at coral reefs, and this friend said, if you like the ocean that much, you ought to get to know dolphins. And he had known dolphins from when he was a child swimming off of California. And so I didn't know anything. I thought it was a fish that sort of acted like a dog or something, played with you or whatever, and that was it.
Okay, so...
Until I walked into that laboratory.
And then what happened to you?
Well, they said you only have 20 minutes because it was Dr. John Lilly's laboratory, and they said he doesn't want visitors in here, and the woman taking care of the place said, I'll give you 20 minutes and you got to be out of here. So I walked in, and my friend was outside talking to her, and it was just me in this room, a big room with a pool, and a dolphin swimming around. And when I walked in there, I felt like there was some sort of a big presence in the place. And it wasn't human. There was nobody else around except me. And so I said, something's going on in here. I don't know what it is. And so the dolphin came over, and it started letting me touch it, and I could feel how powerful it was. And then it started playing games with me, and I played games with animals all my life.
Do you think there was a connection between you and that dolphin that other people may not have felt for some reason?
No.
There was something about you
that
the dolphin
No. It was the dolphin and a person who'd never seen a dolphin, before. And so I just kept thinking, and the games, it got more complicated, and the dolphin was doing things that, kind of games where it got me in the game, and it was delighted when it would get me, and I thought, this thing has a sense of humor, and that takes brains. And I kept thinking, God, don't say anything. People are going to think you're wacky. So I never said anything Well, the dolphin did a lot of things. It let me. Oh, at one point, it had my right hand in its mouth with all these 60 conical teeth that they have holding onto my right hand, and I'm looking down. I'm thinking, you got to be kidding! This thing could. It's very powerful. It could lop your hand right off, but it conveyed, perfect calm to me. I just wasn't worried. So finally, 20 minutes were up, and I thought, I'm not going to say anything, even to the person who brought me here, because they'll all think I'm wacky. I went right to the St. Thomas Library and to the dolphin shelf, and there I found out I wasn't crazy, that people had known this for sometimes centuries. The Greeks, were involved with dolphins. So then I kept reading, and then the whale shelf was next to the dolphin shelf, and I kept reading down, and I read for about 10 years, and I joined groups that were trying to do something for these animals, and I realized, we were dealing with something like other nations here was what I kept coming back to. These animals have such a society and capability that it's just not.
What were you doing in your life at that time?
This happened in the mid 60s. In the late 60s, I started going to college, and because I needed to do that for my own work, and then I went to graduate school, and then I finished all of that, and finally it was in the mid to late 70s when I was sitting over behind the Hadwin house in that garden. I'll never forget, because I just kept thinking to myself, you've been joining all these groups and everything, and you still don't feel like you're doing much. You haven't hit the nail on the head for these animals. And suddenly I thought to myself, why are you looking any further? You're standing on it. Everyone who gets off that boat in Nantucket hears about a whale. Even if they're from Kansas or wherever they're from, they hear about a whale here. So it's like a captive audience. And so I began bringing, I started a program then, and I started bringing in scientists and conservationists, and we had a summer lecture series here for...
What were you trained to do in college, though? What was your...
I was trained to be a sociologist. Well, unfortunately not anything to do with whales, but...
Why did you do that?
That interested me because I had been an international traveler. I had gone around the world and traveled to... I've been in over 75 countries now traveling.
Just as a solo traveler, or?
Sometimes solo, sometimes with other people.
Have you been married?
No, not officially. I shouldn't say that.
What
on
about
television.
kids? Do you have kids?
No, I do not.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Connecticut, and then I did a big trip around the world, and then I moved to New York City and Boston. And
But what was your connection to Nantucket?
I came here in 1957 because I was looking at these islands offshore. I was living in New York then, and I came on a little vacation up into the vineyard in Nantucket, and I really liked Nantucket, and I decided to come back the following year and work here in the summer, which I did.
Doing what?
I was waitressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are a little different those days, but yet you still stick it out here, huh?
What?
Staying on Nantucket.
Oh, I like it.
But your family never had a house here. Your parents. What did your parents do? What did your mother and father do?
Well, my father was an experimental machinist for Pratt & Whitney in Connecticut, and he built jet engines. And
do you have family? Do you have any family?
Yes, yeah.
You have brothers and sisters and stuff?
Not brothers and sisters, but I got a ton of cousins and relatives in Connecticut.
Okay, so what keeps you on Nantucket? I understand your passion for protecting not just whales, right? Marine mammals.
Well, marine mammals.
So why do you do it here? Why don't you?
Because it's a perfect place to do it with a captive audience.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you make a living doing it?
No,
How do you keep yourself?
I don't get paid at all. No one does in the program. Well, I do other things. For example, I have another job here, and I've had the same job since 1987. I've done a work trade with a family here where I clean their house,
Oh.
and I can stay there.
Oh, is that how that works? Oh, that's good.
And I don't.
always wondered that.
I don't eat in restaurants. I eat in.
Oh, boy.
Sorry about
Not
the
as-
restaurants.
well, that's okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's a
want
lot
to
of
offend
us.
people.
It's very
but-
difficult to eat
Yeah,
in restaurants.
yeah, I know. I do buy things like at the soda fountain and stuff, but I don't go out for big meals because they're too expensive.
Yeah.
And I make my own food from the grocery store, so